Hey guys, it's Layla from Ignite, and in today's video I'm taking you through some exemplar textual analysis, particularly useful for students in year 7 to 10, on an extract from Bram Stoker's Dracula. But before I get into that, please do like and subscribe to our channel and click the bell for notifications. And if you are interested in some resources to help you navigate your way through your HSC studies, check out our website Ignite HSC. But for now, let's get into today's content. So in today's video, I'm taking an extract from Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I'm going to do some candid on-the-spot analysis on that for you guys. But my point in doing that is to reiterate in anyone doing any textual analysis's mind, the steps that really must be undertaken in order to unpack how meaning has been conveyed in a text. So if you're a younger student in particular, and you're a little bit stuck with English and you're wondering, well, what's really the point in my English studies and what am I seeking to convey in my writing? This video will be particularly useful for you. I'm going to talk a little bit about what textual representation actually means, and then show you how to actively read an extract from a text in order to unpack how a composer is using those aspects of form and feature in order to convey some sort of impact or meaning to the responder. Okay, so when we're thinking about texts and we're looking at how ideas are conveyed in text, we're really asking ourselves, how is representation functioning in that text? Now, what that means is how has the composer used form and feature to convey meaning? Now, I've highlighted this arrow here because I'm trying to illustrate that as a student, you can't just simply assert that meaning has been conveyed in the text. If you're saying here that a composer has explored this particular theme, or this quote evokes this idea, you're not actually justifying the assertion that you're making. You must get into the habit, and indeed it should be second nature for you, to assert how the composer has used a technique or an aspect of form in order to trigger their responder to appreciate that idea that is being conveyed. Okay, so that's what I'm going to showcase in my reading of the following extract. As we're going through, I'm going to actively pick out the techniques that the composer has used in that extract and how that impacts me as a reader, to illustrate to you how when you are writing your own forms of analysis, you get into the habit of taking out extract from the text or a quote from the text, identifying the technique or aspect of form, and then going on to say what the effect of that is, okay? But before we get to that effect, you must go back and ask yourself, what technique or aspect of form has the composer used? Let's have a look at our extract. By this time, I had finished my supper, and by my host's desire, had drawn upon a chair by the fire and begun to smoke a cigar, which he had offered me, at the same time excusing himself that he did not smoke. I had now an opportunity of observing him, and found him of a very marked physiognomy. His face was a very strong, aquiline, with high bridge of the thin nose and peculiarly arched nostrils, with lofty domed forehead and hair growing scantily round the temples, but profusely elsewhere. Okay, so that's the first read. Now, just to kind of orientate you in the text, I've picked Stoker's Dracula because it's quite a popular text for students in years 8, 9 and 10, particularly if you're doing a module on Gothic literature or the late Victorian period. And it's just a really great text to read in terms of how the composer has used forms and features to convey this real exotic otherness of Dracula. Now, going back to orientating you in the novel, at this point, our protagonist, who is Jonathan Harker, has arrived at the Count's property, and he's starting to note some very strange Eastern European, if you will, exotic otherness about this location, but particularly in the characterization of the Count as almost animalistic, or what we would call zoomorphic. So let's have another read through and start to unpack what techniques have been used in the extract. So we have, by this time, I had finished my supper. Whenever you're doing analysis and you're seeking to assert that you as a reader has engaged a personal dialogue with the narrator, you can comment on first person narration. The I invites us into intimate dialogue with the composer. And by my host desire, had drawn upon a chair by the fire and begun to smoke a cigar. This here is very effective in conveying setting to the reader. The fire conveys a sense of imagery, and begun to smoke a cigar also appeals to olfactory imagery, which is smell, to give us a strong sense of both the temperature and the smells that constitute the surroundings, which he offered me, at the same time excusing himself that he did not smoke. I had now an opportunity of observing. Opportunity and observing, the repetition of the O is a form of alliteration, drawing our attention to how astutely Jonathan Harker is watching the count, and found him of a very marked physiognomy. Very marked, see the assertion in what's being conveyed there and the level of certainty, we call that high modality. His face was a very strong, repetition there, reinforcing the strong nature of his face, aquiline, with high bridge of the thin nose and peculiarly arched nostrils. So again here, visual imagery is being used to convey the appearance of the count, with lofty domed forehead and hair growing scantily round the temples, but profusely everywhere else. And the imagery is continuing there too. So what I'm hoping you guys have taken away as I've read through that extract is how you actively read through portions of a text and you ask yourself, okay, what techniques are being used? Setting, characterization, visual imagery, narrative voice, and modality are always good places to start. So if you are watching this as a younger student and you want to kind of build on your bank of techniques, take note of all of the techniques I mentioned as I was reading through this, and just also note how as we're reading through, we're actively asking ourselves, how is Stoker or any composer using those aspects of form and feature to impact us in some sort of way? In this extract, we've gotten a strong sense of the setting and a strong sense of the characterization of Dracula, and that's been done through the techniques that Stoker has used. Okay guys, that concludes my analysis for this video. I'm hoping what you've taken away from that is the emphasis on analysing how composers have used forms and features in order to convey meaning to responders. And I've given you an example of that through reading through this popular extract from Dracula. If you have any questions, please do comment. And if you like our content, please do also like and subscribe to our channel and click the bell for notifications. And if you do want extra resources to help you with your HSC studies, check out our website, Ignite HSC. But for now, guys, again, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you do like the content, subscribe to our channel and we'll have more videos coming your way.
That's right, guys. Thanks for watching. And please make sure you check out our online resource database. We've had a team of state rank achievers and heads of English put these together for you, covering everything from essay structures and examples all the way through to craft of writing and comprehension skills. So check them out at ignitehsc.com.au, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.